Hey guys, welcome to the anime podcast Anime Rewind, where we revisit animes from our childhood and try and see if they hold up today, or if they should just stay a good memory. My name's Loofie. Oh man, this is where one of you guys say who you are.
The name's Mukbang Shang.
And my name is Miyo.
Alright, how are you guys doing today?
I'm not too bad with yourself.
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing pretty well as well. I recovered from a mad hangover last night.
Mad hangover. And how did that start again? I don't really remember exactly.
Oh no. Well, it started off as an honest stream raising money for St. Jude, a children's research hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I had a few incentives that involved drinking for a certain amount of money.
Uh-huh.
And there was this guy, his name was Shang.
I hate that guy.
Shang, he
owes me money.
He dropped the
he
big
owes me money.
He dropped the big money bomb, and I had to take 50 shots of soju, and it was not
50 shots of soju. Oh man, it's tyrannical. Who would? Oh man,
who would do that to
That's
me?
ridiculous.
How much were the shots?
Anyway, it was $5 a shot. It was definitely a mistake.
Sounds like a deal. I would have done that too.
Yeah, Mukbang Shang. Why do you have such a similar name to Guy Shang?
It's common in this parts of the world.
Yes.
Mm.
But anyway, the cool thing about it was we actually ended up raising $1,000. We raised $500 within that one stream, and then yeah, we hit the $1,000 goal. So that was really cool.
That's good.
But yeah, I spent literally all of this morning.
Good job.
Feeling terrible. And now I'm better.
Well, it was worth it in the end, I guess, right?
Guess who's back for another fundraiser?
Guess who's back with a brand new track, baby?
How are you guys doing today, though?
Oh, today's been a good old day. Just finished streaming not too long ago. It was a fun time playing some good old Monster Hunter, that game, yeah.
Oh, Monster Hunter. Tell me more. What do you do in that game?
Oh, you just go in, hunt monsters the size of, giant trucks, and they beat your ass, and you beat their ass.
Oh, I'm pretty sure all I do is get my ass beat in Monster Hunter. But how was your day, Miyo?
It was good. I went to bed late last night. I didn't fall asleep until like around 4, and then I had to get up 5 hours later to go to work. I was kind of hungover too, not gonna lie.
Ooh.
So yeah, I had a day. It was busy today. I was really, really stressed out at work, but I'm doing way better now. I had a nice long walk. I hung out with my doggo, and I got to play Monster Hunter when I got off work. Sadly, I did get off work late, so that wasn't fun, I guess. I was supposed to get off at 4, but my coworker didn't show up for a shift, so I didn't get off work till 5. But I at least was able to get home early and to be able to play games with everyone. So I'm really happy I was able to join everyone for some Monster Hunter.
Yeah. And that's my intro.
That's my intro.
That's it.
Oh yeah, I did my intro yesterday for the other
the delayed podcast. I'm sorry, guys. I made you guys do homework, and we didn't even do it. All right, you guys wanna get into it?
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So the anime we're actually going to be going into first, the one that we're going to be visiting first in this sort of nostalgia podcast is InuYasha. So InuYasha was an anime that aired on TV in Japan between 2000 to 2004. It was animated by Sunrise and was adapted from the manga written by Rumiko Takahashi, which was being published in the magazine Weekly Shonen Sunday at the time. I'm pretty sure I remember it was Viz Media who actually licensed both the anime and manga in North America. And based on what I'm seeing, apparently the anime aired in the US from 2002 to 2006. So I think I was like 11 when I saw this show.
You were 11? Oh boy. Yeah,
no.
it
I
sounds
was-
about right.
Was I
Yeah.
the oldest one? I probably was the oldest one.
I feel like you were
Yeah,
probably a
I'm
little bit
pretty sure you were.
older because, like, I feel like I was around that age when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to stay up a little late to watch this weird anime or this weird cartoon I've never seen before.
Exactly. That's exactly
God.
what happened to me.
What I stayed up because I was like, this says TV 14. Yeah.
I want to live dangerously.
Yeah, I'm not TV 14 at all.
Because I'm not too sure how it is in Canada, but back in the States, Cartoon Network had this series, or not series, this network, special network within the network called Toonami, which had all the the anime, some pretty popular cartoons, but mostly
Yeah.
from memory it was like anime. It's like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then when they introduced Adult Swim, it was like, oh, this is kind of weird. This feels kind of dangerous. But when they
Ew.
showed when they showed the same cartoons, but they seemed a little bit different, kind of a little bit gory, I'm like, oh, this is weird, but I kind of like it. I don't know. And that's when it was introduced to InuYasha.
Yeah, that's how I got into InuYasha as well. It was through Adult Swim, and watching it I think it was 10:30 or 11 p.m. at night.
Yeah, sometimes it was even later than that. I was like, ooh, I gotta get it in.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, actually, for me personally, I came across InuYasha by complete accident because I was staying up late one night. Well, late to me, which is probably only 11 p.m. I guess.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. On a school night, I may
No
add.
way.
Like, whoa, rebel.
Yeah, and I was with my sister and we were just hanging out, we were just relaxing in our what was like a toy room, I guess, because we had the TV in there and a couch and we had a bunch of toys in there. But the TV was on and then InuYasha started playing. The intro to InuYasha, the I wanna I wanna change the world. That started playing and that lured us in. Just that intro lured us in. We're like, whoa, what's this? This is so cool. Yeah. So when I started playing, the first episode we saw was actually when Moroku was first introduced into the anime.
Oh my
So
God,
we
that's
didn't
pretty
get to
early.
see it.
That is pretty
Yeah,
early.
we didn't get to see the actual beginning of the anime. We started I don't know, I think 4 episodes in, and there was 2 episodes I played that night, and that's when my sister and I got really really into anime. It was that moment because InuYasha was actually our first anime. But yeah, we got lured in because of the intro, and then every I think it was a Friday night, we found out that it plays every Friday night, and so we would stay up late on Friday nights and watch anime on TV. And it was on this channel, this Canadian channel which was actually called YTV. I don't know if you guys know
We
that
don't
channel.
have that.
No idea.
Yeah, it's a Canadian channel, and they had this program called The Zone that would play at it didn't play at 11 on Fridays, it played right at 12. So every time at 12 o'clock on Friday nights, we would stay up and watch anime, which the first anime that played on Friday nights at 12 o'clock was InuYasha. And then after that, then we found Naruto from there, and then we found Bleach, and One Piece as well. And at the time, One Piece was being produced by 4Kids, I think. So the voice acting in One Piece was completely different.
So
Oh,
you're saying InuYasha was your gateway drug?
Yes, InuYasha was my gateway drug.
I actually think that's the same for me too. I think InuYasha was the first anime I really got into, and that's what really pushed me to keep watching anime.
Yeah.
For me, oh boy. For me, I think I started with Gundam, and then I found InuYasha.
Oh, yeah.
Gundam.
I saw a bit of Gundam after I found InuYasha. I got really into it for the longest time, Gundam. But I don't remember what I know Gundam has a ton of random I don't know. I remember seeing these old Gundam anime shows on TV, but I never got really into them, or I wasn't pulled into them. And this was after InuYasha too. And so the characters were always different, but the main mech was the same, with the blue torso and the white head and the V.
Oh,
Yeah, so
the RX-78 or something like that.
is that its name?
the RX-78?
Is
The
it
old
right?
classic.
I might anger tons of Gundam fans out there, but no, I was
I-
right. Oh, we're good.
Angered Ray.
I feel like I'm angering a ton of like Gundam fans because I didn't even know its name. I was like, oh, I'll just describe it. You know?
It's that rope
Or
it, you know.
that V thing's a V fin.
that
All
rope
right,
it.
watch yourself.
All right. Well, I guess that's how you know we're not covering Gundam in this this podcast.
Yeah.
I will admit though, during the time I did watch InuYasha, I was like so into it because I was more into InuYasha than with Gundam at the time. Because I remember vividly that anything about InuYasha, the theme music, I watched all the tribute videos.
Yes.
I changed my back then. I had like a Windows, no, a Dell desktop. You changed the background to InuYasha.
Oh yes, me too.
Oh, that's what I did. So, there used to be this website where you can make your own, like, cheap websites for yourself. I was a child at the time. Like, I don't even know how old I was, honestly. Like, I honestly don't even remember how old I was when I found InuYasha. But I used to go on this website and I would make my own my own, like, profile website page that my friends could check out. It was all just InuYasha pictures. Everyone didn't know what to do with it. Usually on the like website, like all my friends had intros, like, oh yeah, I'm so and so, and I like this and I like that, and you know, check me out on this and all that. And me, it was just InuYasha pictures, and I was like, click on this picture, and you can like open up to another page that has even more InuYasha pictures.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I think I was in, about grade 6 at the time. So.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Being able to
actually.
It
make a
is- it's not bad.
website in like early middle school, late elementary school.
Yeah, and then later when I found like more anime, I just added more anime pictures to my so-called website. Yeah,
It's a
so there was
fan
like
site.
Naruto pictures, there was Bleach pictures, there was a ton of like old anime pictures just put onto my website.
And where can we find this website?
Is it still up?
I don't think it is anymore. I think it was taken down a long time ago. But I remember all my friends were into it, and my sisters and I got into it, and we all made our own profiles to explain who we are as a person. It was just anime. My sisters and I got into it. My sisters and I made our own profiles, and it was just all anime pictures.
It sounds like me when I was like 13 years old. It was like OG like Crunchyroll. So Crunchyroll now it's a legit like video streaming site, but before it was like the Facebook of anime.
Yeah, it was essentially the Kiss anime of today.
So it's, oh man, going back to those days, like man, Jesus Christ, the amount of people called Oto-sama, it's like, oh, it's weird.
Oh, Oto-sama.
Oh,
Oji-san.
So, with InuYasha, what would you say your fondest memory of the series was? Like, I guess favorite character or favorite scene. Like what when you think back on InuYasha, what's like the thing that you remember best?
The best part of InuYasha, the only part that comes to mind vividly is every time when Kagome says, "Sit, boy," bam, that's it.
That was always very funny every time that happened. For me, it was Kagome!
InuYasha! Kagome!
The Japanese voice acting, he kind of butchered her name every time he yelled her name. He was like, Kagome!
Kagome!
I couldn't take the scene serious as much as I did with the English dub, but that's only because I started off the series in English. So
I think same here. I only started with the English, stopped whenever it decided to stop, because I think I ever watched the Japanese versions with the movies. Even then, I don't really remember too much of the movies.
I definitely watched part of the series in Japanese. I remember, like, eventually, eventually the Adult Swim kind of started replaying episodes, so essentially it caught up. So I went online and I found like Japanese like audio with English subtitles, and I just started watching from there. And so like I finished up the series in Japanese because I don't think I ever saw past like, you know, when he learns that one move, the backlash wave or whatever.
Yeah.
It's episode 70 or 80, and then at that point they jump into a filler arc. I never watched past the filler arc in English. I actually never watched the filler arc. I skipped that completely. So if we ever watch it, it's gonna be a brand new experience for me. I watched everything else though. But I guess the Japanese version kind of grew on me after a while, but I definitely really grew up with the English one.
Yeah.
That was where it's at. So when we rewatch it, I wanna watch it in English if it's possible.
Ooh,
I do too.
Yeah, same.
I want to watch it in English. Yeah.
My favorite. Go ahead, Shang. Go ahead, Shang.
I was gonna say, if I watch it in Japanese, I think it's gonna be kind of weird. It's like,
Yeah, it's gonna have like a different feel or experience if you watch it in Japanese, especially since you started it in English.
Yeah, I think my fondest memory was Miroku. Whenever he saw like a cute girl, he like go up. And, like, would you bear my children?
And he would always put his butt on what's her name?
No, he always touched Sango's butt.
Yeah, he always touched her butt. Yeah, and then he would have a red like hand mark on his face right afterwards. Yeah. He always seemed so satisfied too every time.
He was like, I did it.
I did. It was worth.
I'll do it again in the next episode.
Yeah. You could see like a hashtag worth on his face. Hashtag worth.
Yes.
All worth.
I think my fondest memory was actually Kagome and InuYasha kissing.
I don't even remember that.
I don't remember that.
Really? You guys don't remember? Oh no, did I spoil it? Oh no.
We're great romantics, me and Shane.
To be fair, I've only watched whatever they showed on the Adult Swim. So like Loofie was saying, it's probably just a whole bunch of replayed stuff that I just watched and never like anything consistent.
Oh, like you didn't you feel like you didn't progress that far?
Yeah.
Or okay, alright. Well, like me, I like tuned in every single Friday to watch InuYasha. So when I found out there were movies, my sisters and I went out of our way to go to Walmart to buy the next InuYasha movie. So when they had their first kiss, that was a big moment for me. Okay, I was following the show for so long and I was watching it for so long. I was so invested in the characters and invested in the romance between InuYasha and Kagome. And when they kissed, that was like, oh, I was so satisfied.
Oh man, I was not a young romantic. I was an edgy teenage boy. So my favorite moment was it was a fight scene against this one demon, and I remember Tetsaiga snaps in two.
Oh yeah.
And so InuYasha goes full demon, and I remember I was like, that's so cool.
Oh yeah, that was a very, very memorable moment too, actually, when he goes full demon, and that's when he realizes that he can go into full demon mode and stuff, and then he feels like he's a danger to Kagome and his comrades.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that was a very like important moment in the series.
Yeah, I remember saying something like way back when like Naruto was like still like early, and then you see Naruto like change. It's like, oh man, he's doing the whole InuYasha thing. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So every time InuYasha changed to a demon, it was such a big moment too. It was like, oh my god, he's changing. He's full demon.
I think that's actually a really big anime trope. Cause there were other shows at the time that did it. I don't know if you guys know the series Rurouni Kenshin had something similar where it was about a swordsman who's kind of struggled with his past self and his present self, and there were at times where his bloodlust would get the better of him and would bring out the past self. And and then with Naruto, with him in his demon form, and how the commonality between these three series was that they were always trying to repress that instinct, right? And I think it has to do something with Japanese culture where it's about you care more about the people around you and you want to protect the people around you, but you don't want to give into the lust for power to do so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand that when I was a kid. So I was like, why isn't InuYasha becoming that full demon form anymore? It was so cool, so edgy. And he only did it like twice. I was like, man.
Yeah, for me, it was like, oh man, he's doing it again. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
So excited. So excited.
Yeah, that was me, edgy Loofie.
Oh, what was worse is when I was one of those kids who's like, oh man, I maybe I have that inside me too. Oh. Thinking about it now, it's like I just cringed, but like back then I know I said it. It's like, oh no.
flip the table like, oh, I won't eat vegetables today, Ma.
Not today.
When I was a kid, you know how InuYasha does like the what's like his scratch, his signature scratch,
Where he uses his foot to scratch his ear.
Yeah.
No, like his Iron Reaver Soul Stealer.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Oh.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to pose my hand like that.
We're off to go find pics.
Oh no.
I actually never admitted that before. Now that I think about it.
Oh no.
I never admitted that I did that. Yeah, I used to pose my hand like InuYasha does when he does the Iron Reaver Soul Stealer.
It's okay. It's almost like me whenever I started like humming, like singing really loudly in the shower, like one of the ending themes or opening scenes of like opening themes of InuYasha.
Yeah,
Because I was so in love with the opening or ending of the thing. It was like, oh.
Dude, InuYasha has a really good music. It was.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, there's a lot of things that are very memorable from InuYasha, and one of the main things is the intros and the outros, like the openings and the endings. The music in InuYasha is really good. I remember saving music onto my iPod and showing all my friends at school. They're like, "Yo, look at my new music," and it was just InuYasha openings and endings. So a lot of them were kind of confused, like why is this girl playing Japanese music in school?
So I found the ending that that sticks with me the most. You guys know Every Heart, right?
Oh, by Boa.
Yes.
Of course.
Oh my god.
That one got me
love that
every
song.
time.
That was my sister's favorite song.
Every Heart was also like one of my favorites. Actually, I followed Boa for a really long time. All right, I lost our notes because it got pushed underneath some videos. All right. Let's go back. So I guess what we can do now is let's do something that we'll do for every single series that we do talk about. Let's give it a nostalgia rating. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, how would you rate InuYasha from a nostalgic standpoint? Like how fondly do you look back on it? Because for me, InuYasha is probably an 8 or a 9, so I'm gonna give it like an 8.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
Yeah, an 8.
I'll tell you what, I do have the fondest memories of it for sure, but because it's been so long, I can't really remember too much.
So for me, my nostalgia factor rating would be about a 9 because it was my first anime.
Whoa.
And I have a lot of great fond memories of it. So
wait, I thought you said 8.
No, I was responding to Shang.
Oh man, I lost. I wanna amend mine to be a 9.1.
9.1. Okay. It's not a competition.
Everything's a competition to me.
It's a 9.01.
Yeah, it's a 9.0001.
I got a more important question to ask. I have a very important question to ask. Who was your anime crush in the series?
InuYasha for me. I had a huge crush on InuYasha. I thought it was
Sesshomaru?
the hottest. Sesshomaru is really cool, but he was never my cup of tea.
Miyo's not into them bad boys.
Koga was pretty cool.
Okay, never mind.
I thought Koga was pretty cool.
Koga out of here. Get him out of here.
I'm gonna be I want to vote Miyo off the podcast.
Oh well, okay. I was only here for the pilot. I was only here just to warm you guys up. I see how it is.
For me, I think it was probably Kikyo, because I was rooting for her more than I was rooting for Kagome.
Aww. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like Kagome was a little bit insecure throughout the entire show, especially when
Yeah.
it came to Kikyo. It didn't seem that it didn't seem very healthy on her part,
Mm-mm.
considering how jealous she got over Kikyo, and that she also felt like she didn't want InuYasha near her
Mm.
at all.
Mm.
Like that sounds like a very insecure, like in my opinion. So I noticed that when I saw InuYasha like 3 years ago. That was the last time I watched it actually. I only saw a little bit of it though,
Man,
but yeah.
my thinking was probably not that deep. I think what was happening was I like the color scheme of the Kikyo character more than the color more than the color scheme of the Kagome character. I was like, I like white and red. I don't like this. I don't like this
white,
green and white.
little bit of red. What's
It's green and white.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
reminds me of Christmas colors.
It wasn't anything so complex as that.
I guess for me, it's gonna have to be Sango.
Oh,
Sango.
Sang-
Sango is the cutest.
Because so far,
I
I love that whole interaction. Well, yes, I loved her, but I loved her interaction between her and fill in the blank, somebody.
Miroku.
Moroku's like interaction. I thought it was just hilarious every time. And so every time she her reactions and the way she talked to him, it's like, I like her. She's like funny. She's also pretty badass,
sassy.
and she's sassy.
Yeah.
It's like I like it.
Yeah.
And then she had a little brother complex.
She
Yeah, she
really
had-
did.
Oh.
Songo is actually a very solid character. She has very intense like character plot like from the beginning. She has like
Plot.
great character story where where her she comes from a family of demon hunters, and those demon hunters get slain in front of her, and she experiences a very great trauma that only like pushes her to continue to save her only surviving brother, which I don't know. I feel like is very, very deep of a character for her, considering like where she came from and what she experienced, and she's still like determined to continue despite like I don't know. It's hard to explain for me. I'm having trouble explaining it, but I feel like Songo has a very deep and meaningful character.
No, I get what you mean. Like, I think the characters in InuYasha are actually designed pretty well. At least the side characters. I'm not too sure about Kagome, but they were.
Yeah, Kagome
They
was
were-
kind of like shallow.
They all kind of had a tragedy set by the main antagonist that drove them to where they were, and was their like
Yeah.
driving. There was their driving force for what they were compelled to do with the series, and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sango's was probably one of the most tragic. I think the second one being Moroku. Like, Moroku's was pretty sad as well. To be honest,
Yeah.
though, I don't remember Moroku's. I just remember it was sad.
Same. Yeah.
Well, Moroku's story is that he comes from like a line of I'm pretty sure it was a line of monks, and through his ancestral line, he inherits a black hole in his hand that will eventually like kill him.
Oh yeah. I forgot
Oh,
about
yeah,
entirely.
that thing was gonna kill him. I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right. I forgot
Yeah, so
all about it.
The more he used it, the more it would like engulf his hand. So he always tried to avoid using it, and you only used it when you really needed to, when he felt it was necessary.
Every single
But
episode.
his entire story, it's true. But his entire story is just him trying to get rid of his curse on his hand of that black hole, so he doesn't succumb to it and die to this black hole.
Okay, I totally remember that now.
Man, hearing that now just makes me realize how badass he was. Like, god damn.
Dude,
Yeah.
he was a good character.
He faced death every day on his hand.
Death by your
And he
hand.
hit it with like exactly like he had like a little cloth, like a thin looking cloth that covered this black hole. I don't even know how that cloth even like prevented him from being sucked into it.
See, the
One maybe it was a charm.
the one
maybe it was
character in the
charm.
team that makes me curious now. Look, what is Shippo's backstory?
Oh, okay. I feel like I know all this information, though I hardly last time I watched this show was about like 3 years ago. Okay, so I know all the stories. So okay, so for Shippo's story, so he is a like a young fox demon who always wanted to prove himself to his dad and always wanted to be a strong, like powerful demon one day, and he ended up actually losing his dad because he was killed by two other demons. I forgot their names, but they're Thunder Lord demons. One's I think one's a wind demon, the other one's thunder. And so his dad is actually like meets his demise to those demons, and so Shippo is, loses his dad, and he's all alone in the world, and he asks for Inuyasha and Kagome's help to avenge his dad, and for Shippo to get his dad's pelt back because one of the demons like put it on his wore it as a belt. Yeah, so Shippo's story is mainly him trying to become a better demon and to hone his skills and just I feel like Shippo's story isn't as deep as Sango's and Miroku's if you think about it, because it's mainly Shippo just trying to be stronger.
Yeah, like a kid becomes more responsible.
Yeah.
A better plot than Twilight.
Whoa, let's not go that far.
What you mean?
Twilight had many intricities. All right.
Actually, before we continue, I just want to say one thing. Fun little fact: Sango's voice actor is actually the same voice actor for Barbie.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Blows
Every
my
time I
mind.
watch Barbie now, I always hear Sango.
I need to listen to a Barbie real quick.
Oh no, we lost them.
My waifu's there, god dang it.
You know what other character I really liked growing up, now that I remember? The mosquito Miyoga. How he would always like go and like suck the blood from
he
Inu.
wasn't a mosquito. He was a flea.
Oh, he was a flea?
I forgot about it.
The mosquito.
Whatever, he always sucked Inuyasha's blood and it would get swatted.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, so
Yeah.
good.
I think it's because Inuyasha's blood is the best.
It's something like
To
that,
him?
yeah.
Yeah, like it's the most flavorful. Oh, I'd suck on Inuyasha's neck any day.
Oof.
Oh no.
Sorry. Explicit take on this podcast, please.
This podcast has now been canceled.
We're done. That's it. Cut it.
So can you guys actually remember the complete plot of Inuyasha? Like, I remember general points of like, oh yeah, they like, actually, you know what? I don't even remember how Kagome ends up in the feudal era. She like falls down a well or something.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And then she shows up. Inuyasha's pinned to a tree. I think she
Yeah.
frees him, and then
Yeah.
I remember. First episode, topless spider lady. Good one.
Oh,
Good episode.
yeah.
Yes, she gets pulled in by the topless spider.
Oh,
lady
she gets
who,
pulled. Oh, good episode.
apparently has like very tiny nipples because her hair was like
I
it was
see.
only like thin strands of hair covering her boobies.
If you read the manga, it's
so-
much more explicit. But I think for the anime, they kind of just
Yeah.
took an eraser over that part. I was like, eh.
Yeah.
We'll take a
Just
look
like a
at it.
Barbie doll.
We're good. We're good here. We're good here. And so that's like how Kagome and Inuyasha meet, and then eventually they meet. Like, I actually don't remember the circumstances in which they meet Miroku, Sango, and Shippo. I just know they meet at one
Yeah.
point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's basically just Kagome goes to the feudal era by accident, meets Inuyasha, touches his ears, kind of rubs them, and the cutest noises made every time she rubs his ears, which I think is like really adorable. But and then basically they just start meeting allies along the way, and then they realize they all have a common goal, which is to piece together the Shikon jewel.
Right.
Ah, that's what that was.
Right, so there was a jewel that needed to be pieced together, and they were getting shards for it. And then the other thing that I don't remember is how Naraku actually came into the series. If I remember correctly, he was like a skinny, decrepit guy, and he like absorbed a bunch of demons and slowly
and
started to come back.
He fell in love with Kikyo because she took care of him when she was alive,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he wanted to be with her, and he wanted to I don't know why he wanted the demons to take him, but he invited the demons to take over his body. So what Naraku actually is just a ton of demons put together into one.
Oh,
And
right.
His name was something else. I forgot the name of the guy, but he wasn't always Naraku. Naraku is actually just the embodiment of all these like 1,000 demons put together into one
Naraku
body.
actually in Japanese means hell, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
Okay. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, so basically Naraku is the reason why the Shikan is the reason why that InuYasha was put on that tree. Because so the backstory between InuYasha is that he fell in love with Kikyo, who is a priestess protecting the Shikan jewel, and Naraku comes into the story because he wants the Shikan jewel for himself, and he despises Kikyo, I'm pretty sure, because she's fallen in love with a half demon. So what he does is he tricks them and makes them think that they betrayed each other. So InuYasha ends up going for the Shikan jewel to become full demon, and Kikyo just feels so betrayed that because Naraku attacked her in the guise of InuYasha, so Kikyo is pretty upset about that. So she goes and tries and kills InuYasha when he's getting the Shikan jewel, and so she pins him, and he gets stuck on the tree for I think 200 years, and then he's released from the seal when Kagome pulls out the arrow from his chest.
And then Kikyo actually burns her body with the jewel, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I actually thought Kikyo was alive this whole time. She was totally a dead person that got resurrected.
Yeah.
And that was a good scene too. 10 out of
realized-
10.
Was it in the beginning that Kagome had like the Shikan jewel in her body, or am I remembering something different?
Yeah,
Something
she
like
came,
that.
Yeah, the reason why she was pulled in is because it was in her body, because she's the reincarnation of Kikyo.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know why it was in her body. It seems odd to me. Like, wouldn't she feel it or something?
Yeah, wouldn't you know it's there?
Hey, I got a lump here, doctor. Am I okay? You're fine.
You're fine. It's okay.
Stop complaining. Go back to school.
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It seems so weird that she had like a intense like a ball in her body that she never noticed. But yeah, it ends up like getting cut out of her in the first episode.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much to remember.
It's like just like I remember like hearing Miyo talk about InuYasha, she's like piecing all the stories back in my brain again.
I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, I remember that too.
He's like, I can vividly see the anime in my head as she talks. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, guys. I just really like the anime. Okay.
Look, I haven't seen this anime since I saw it.
Exactly.
Back
same.
when I was like 14 or something. It's been almost 15 years for me. So it's been
This
a while.
is gonna be an adventure for
So
you
it's gonna
guys.
be-
I'm mainly in it for the nostalgia.
It's really
road trip
exciting
right now.
for me, yeah. And
which is why I scaled my nostalgia factor all the way up to 9, because I remember most of it. Well, I try to remember most of it, but it's nostalgia because I'm gonna be reliving it again
right.
in the moment. So yeah, that's why my nostalgia factor is pretty high in my opinion.
So one of the interesting things about InuYasha the series is that the anime actually ended before the manga finished. So the actual series ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh.
And I remember that it just ends. And I think it was 5 years later they actually came back to the 26 episode season where they just finished up the plot. I actually never seen that one. We could visit it later.
Oh, that'd be great, actually.
But they finally wrap up the plot in 26 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, I never actually watched like the last like season of InuYasha, so I didn't know that.
Yeah. Wait, last season of the original series?
I think so, yeah. Like I know how it ends just from the anime. I don't know how the manga ends.
Oh.
And I had no idea about the it being cut off or the anime ending before the manga. I did not know about that.
Oh, you guys are in for a treat.
That's why I thought the movies were like the ending for the anime.
Oh, you know what? I don't even remember the movies, but I remember the third movie being my favorite, and I don't remember why. I think the second movie was okay. I didn't like the first movie, and I thought the fourth was okay. But I would rank it 3, 2, 1, 4, and I don't remember what any of those movies are about.
So the first movie for me was only memorable because the scene that Kagome and InuYasha have when she goes back through time. And it's just sad because she's sad because she wants to go back to InuYasha and stuff. The second movie is memorable because InuYasha gets a little sugar.
Ooh, a little cheddar cheese.
Oh,
cheddar
God.
cheese on the side.
Oh, no.
So, and then the third movie's memorable because InuYasha's dad comes back.
Oh.
He doesn't come back.
Oh,
It just shows his
the
dad.
third movie is about the swords, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I would like to rewatch that one. I like
would
that one a
too.
lot.
Time to rewatch all.
All right, we'll have to do it on another episode. Yeah.
And then the fourth movie wasn't that memorable. Honestly.
It was definitely not that memorable because I think it happened
Yeah.
like a year after the series ended, and I think a lot of the hype had died down by then. So I don't even remember.
Well,
I don't really remember much
yeah.
anymore.
Well, the second one. The second movie starts off really strong, because that's in the beginning of that movie. Naraku is slain,
Mhm.
and it's cool because it starts off with InuYasha in human form, and he's pretty weak,
Oh, yeah.
and he's gonna die, and then we get the moment where Kagome goes InuYasha, and then the sun comes in, and InuYasha comes out in half demon form, and I felt like that was a very memorable moment, especially since like in the movies every movie has like an orchestra playing in the background, which is great. Like I love that they had an orchestra play for the anime.
Oh, like the instrumentals, like the BGM.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the BGM in the anime is absolutely fantastic. Like that was back when anime music was like I would go and download the soundtrack for the anime, and it would be like 4 CDs long, and you could just listen to them, and you'd be like,
4 CDs.
and you would just like you could see the scenes replay in your head as you listened to them. It was just maybe it's because maybe because music was more raw back then. That I really liked that kind of. I had a really good experience with that. All right, so like we'll figure out if our plot is right or not. I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk more about the plot as we watch it. What I wanted to do is actually kind of segue into what we're going to be doing between now and the next episode, which is determining a set of episodes that we're going to watch, that we're going to discuss on the next podcast. And so what I did was I went into the episode list and I kind of looked through a few titles without trying to spoil myself too much, which was kind of hard, but I did my best. I totally don't remember what I looked at, but I selected episodes 1 through 7 for a reason, and I think 7 ends at the end of some first major plot point. And so what we can do is we'll go and watch those in our own time, and then next time we get together, which is probably in 2 weeks, I was thinking I'm pretty sure this is going to be a bi-weekly podcast, so in about 2 weeks we'll come back together.
Okay.
And we'll talk about what we watched. Like, man, did the animation really age well? What was the plot? Was it exactly like we remembered? Was there anything that we watched that felt brand new? And like we'll just chat about it, feel nostalgic, and see where we go from there. But I think 7 episodes might be good. If we find out that 7 episodes only gives us 5 minutes worth of talking content, well, we'll make it longer next time. And we'll.
I don't know. I might get accidentally suckered in and watch a little bit more on accident.
Oh, that's gonna be the hardest part. I know. That's why I purposely tried to choose an episode that has a conclusive ending, rather than one that ends on a cliffhanger, because that would be 10 times more painful. Or else we'd be like, hey, record this podcast really fast so we can get our next set of episodes and go.
Right, because the thing about watching like a nostalgia anime is like, man, you love this. I want to keep watching it. What happened? I want to remember if everything was as good as I remember it, like you were saying, or the thing that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And as for the art style, man, the thing about old anime art style is, I don't know, to me it just seems more better, much more detailed than current anime. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like Sailor Moon, the animation Sailor Moon stands out really well even today.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and close it out then?
Sure.
Okay.
So if you enjoyed our content today, all 3 of us are actually live streamers on Twitch. We all stream an assortment of video games. For me, I'll speak for myself and I'll let the other 2 speak for themselves. But for me, I play a lot of variety games. I literally play anything that comes out brand new, but I will always probably go back to RPGs. I love playing them, but when I play them, I love ignoring chat. So if you like watching RPGs with no interaction, come to my stream at twitch.tv/LoofieTV.
Oh man, I will second that notion and say that I too am a variety streamer of sorts. But man, RPGs, they are the game. But I will every now and then read the chats, no problem. But boy, when I'm playing a game that has no voices, I will do voice acting that game very terribly, and I will not pay attention to chat. But you'll find me at twitch.tv/Shanghai China.
And I will third that with by saying that I am also a variety streamer. You can always find me like playing really random games. I'm always doing something different on my channel. You can see me going from battle royale to horror games all the way to puzzle games, and also even JRPGs. I love JRPGs. And next to it, you would also even see me doing creator streams. I tend to like touch on anything, honestly. My channel, I mainly use it as an outlet to relax and just interact with my chat and just enjoy my time with everyone. So I don't really take my stream that seriously, honestly. It's just mainly for me and my chat to have fun. So if you're interested in like coming by for that and just seeing me doing random things, just you can find me at twitch.tv/MiyoBB.
Can you spell that out for
I knew it. I knew you were gonna ask that. Okay, that's MIYOBBY.
And Shang, did you give us your Twitch link?
Yes.
Okay, I may have zoned out. My bad.
Feels bad.
Hey, this has been Anime Rewind. Thank you for listening. It's your boy, Loofie, signing off.
It's your boy, Mukbang Shang, signing out.
It's your girl, Maito Booby, and I'm outta here.
We'll see you guys all next time. Later.
Later.
Bye.